This is Ryan. Thanks for joining me again today. I wanted to put up another video more than just weekly because this Sunday is World Mental Health Day. So I thought this would be a great time to talk about mental health since I'm a photographer, but also I'm quickly becoming a mental health advocate. And for the last 2 weeks, I've been talking to you about my struggles with depression and anxiety and how that can affect the workplace. It can affect your personal life. It can affect everything, but also can have this beautiful, wonderful effect of being able to give us this creative energy that maybe if we were just kind of cruising through life, wouldn't normally be there. So I am very excited to talk to you today about World Mental Health Day this Sunday, October 10th, and am happy to celebrate it as a day where we can focus on mental health and destigmatize talking about mental health. So hopefully this channel right here has helped you to think about mental health in your own way and is helping the cause a little bit to destigmatize it being a thing that we can all talk about. So I'm going to keep it pretty quick today. I actually only really want to talk about one thing, and that thing is success. And how we define success and how do we look at success, especially coming from a Western or even just industrialized culture. Success is often spoken about. It's often something we think about. Productivity. What are we doing with our life? When you grow up, it's like, what do you want to be? This kind of idea of something that we are more than human beings, that there is not just a being, but there's a human doing, where some of the things we do define whether or not we are supposedly successful or not. But I want to challenge that idea today, that success has been idolized to a point that we struggle with our mental health because of success. So I think this is going to be a great topic to talk about today, and with World Mental Health Day being a topic, because success is something, especially as Americans, we think about a lot. All of us want to be successful. We have certain people we say, oh, they are successful. But I really would like to get away from focusing on success and kind of show that success really is not all necessarily that we are imagining it to be. It's a fantasy. It's an ideal that we've created in our mind of what it means to be a successful human being. But I feel like I'm here today to tell you that you are a successful human being, that you here today, loved and honored by God, that is success, and there's nothing more you need to do. And you might be sitting there, well, that's great, Ryan, but the way I feel isn't necessarily that way. And I definitely can empathize with that, and I know the pressure that the world has put on us makes us feel that if we don't have a certain job, if we don't have a certain income, if we don't have a certain look, if we're struggling with certain things, if we don't have this persona about us, this hype about us, that we're not successful. But those are ideas that were brought on by others. I don't think that was anything that God put on you. I don't really even think it was something you put on yourself. I think if we really sat down and allowed ourselves to just be, success would be something we realize that we already have, that we've already harnessed, and that we just are by being here. So thanks for joining in as another successful human being, and that success might just be just surviving today and being here today with me to be able to talk about mental health. and how thinking too much of success can actually play a role in destroying it. So I even hate using the word, so I'm going to try to stop using this word today, because it's I think it in a sense it's become a way to self-hate and degrade ourselves. And there's a quote by Pete Walker, who has written a couple great books. One of them is called The Tao of Fully Feeling. Another one is about complex PTSD. I would highly recommend reading things that Pete Walker writes. He is a sufferer of many, many, many mental health issues himself, and he has since become a therapist for helping people like you and me be able to get through these mental health crises and get into a place where we can fully appreciate our emotions and what it means to be a human being and not just a human doing that might be trying to judge ourselves through a false lens, or a lens that, well, quite honestly, nobody would feel good about themselves through. So, in an attempt to look through a more healthy lens, he has a couple quotes here from his book, and I would like to share it with you. The first one is, if we are to reclaim our healthy, fully feeling human nature, we must renounce our unholy allegiance to the belief that mental health means being happy all the time. I'll repeat that last part of it because I love it. We must renounce our unholy allegiance to the belief that mental health means being happy all the time. I really think he hits this perfect point that we all feel this pressure to be happy all the time, or be powerful all the time, or be in this certain state of mood that has to be perfected. And if we're outside of that, we begin to judge ourselves, we hide from others, and we say, this is an unacceptable feeling. This is an unacceptable mood. And I want to challenge that today, because I think that kind of thinking is what's actually led us to this unhealthy place. And I love how he uses this really strong language, like this unholy allegiance, kind of like God has never actually told us that we have to feel happy all the time. He absolutely talks about joy, and joy coming from a place of faith, and faith in a good and loving God. But he never talks about this life being happy all the time. We, as in the Christian world, it's often talked about the shortest verse, Jesus wept. But Jesus had a full range of emotions. He suffered. He died himself. He went through hardships. So even God himself in a human form has a full capacity to feel, and we accept Jesus' full capacity to feel. And I understand some movies and portrayals of Jesus or Yeshua might show him to be this happy figure all the time, but I think if we really read the scriptures and we really look at further into his life, we'll see that he was called the suffering servant, and he did actually feel a full range of emotions. So I'm just really trying to invite us to really feel fully as a human being, so that we're not judging ourselves when we don't feel great and wonderful. And I don't know about you, but this last year and a half has been anything but wonderful feelings. With a global pandemic and the economy and all sorts of crazy things going on. You're never sure whether you can even get toilet paper from the store, because who knows if it's been raided and run out. It's been a wild ride. So there's this whole range of emotions that I think we can allow ourselves to feel in a time like this. And I think it's more important than ever to feel it in a time like this. So I'm really just want to dive into today just saying, allow yourself to fully feel. If you need to cry, cry. If you need to be angry, be angry. If you're frustrated, be frustrated. If you're lonely, really feel lonely, because when we feel these things, then we know how to love and care for ourselves. If we don't feel any of these things, then we kind of we're on this human doing mode, and we're constantly just distracting ourselves from being able to actually take care of our real needs inside of us. And our emotional needs, they're just as real as our physical needs, and sometimes they even get combined. And I know a lot of people talk about when they're hungry, they get hangry, and then your whole mood gets affected. So don't judge your feelings. Don't judge your emotions. Allow yourself to feel these emotions. And I understand that a lot of us with mental health issues are going to have to go through this with a therapist, because we're feeling emotions from 20, 30 years ago. And it's insane to try to go through all at once. So this is a journey. This is a real journey. But I hope today I've helped at least promote all of our mental health and wellness. And we've kind of rethought our idea of success, and see ourselves as whole humans today. And we are successful humans because we are sitting here today. It's not from anything you've done. It's just who you are and who God has just made you, without having done anything, perfected anything, sinful or sinless or perfect in doing or wrong or terrible choices. We are here and we are whole and we are loved, and I just want to spread that love to you on this World Mental Health Day especially. And just really want to just encourage you to look further into accepting the full wholeness of your feelings, instead of trying to run away or distract. So thank you for joining me today. I look forward to continuing to do this and being a mental health advocate on top of being a photographer and videographer. As you can see, my setup is constantly changing behind me as I'm getting more and more in tune with this and getting more excited about sharing with you. So thanks for joining me today, and look forward to talking with you again.